Your body is not aging. It is drying out from the inside. And tonight, if you stay with me, I am going to share with you an ancient technique attributed to Thoth, the Egyptian god of hidden knowledge, that can force the rehydration of your deepest tissues in real time. Not tomorrow, not after weeks of practice. Tonight, you will feel it move through you before this video ends. But I need you to understand something first. What you have been told about your body, about aging, about why you wake up stiff and cracking and heavy is fundamentally incomplete. And that incompleteness is not accidental. It is the reason you have been suffering in a body that feels like it belongs to someone decades older than you actually are. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed that the stiffness is getting worse? That the cracking in your knees, your shoulders, your spine seems louder this year than last? That there is a tightness in your body that no amount of stretching seems to permanently resolve? You have probably blamed the weather, or your mattress, or your age. Oh, you have probably said to yourself, well, this is just what happens. This is just what getting older feels like. But what if none of that is true? What if the real reason your body feels like it is turning to stone has nothing to do with the number of years you have been alive, and everything to do with a process happening beneath your skin right now? A process that is entirely reversible. A process that the ancient Egyptians not only understood, but encoded into their most sacred teachings. Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal is not a stretching exercise. It is not a supplement recommendation. It is not another wellness trend that will fade in 6 months. This is a biophysical secret, a movement so instinctive that every animal on Earth still performs it, a movement that humanity has collectively forgotten, a movement that creates an internal vacuum capable of drawing life back into tissues that have been dying of thirst for years. And there is a crucial detail in how this movement is performed, a single moment in the release that separates temporary relief from deep, lasting regeneration. Most people get this detail wrong, and when they do, the entire effect is negated. I will reveal that detail before we are done. But first, you need to understand what is actually happening inside you. Because once you see it, once you truly see it, you cannot unsee it. And that seeing is itself the beginning of the restoration. If you have ever felt your body seize up, if you have ever woken up feeling like you aged 10 years overnight, if you have ever looked at a child running and jumping and thought, I remember when my body could do that, then this video did not find you by accident. There is an intelligence operating beneath the surface of your life that brings you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. And tonight, what you need is this. Let us begin with the most important truth no one has told you. The entire mechanism of life is contained within the aqueous property. That is not my phrase. That understanding runs through the deepest veins of ancient Egyptian wisdom, through the Hermetic teachings attributed to Thoth himself, the god of knowledge, the keeper of the sacred records, the one who encoded the laws of reality into symbols that only the prepared mind could decode. And the law he encoded most carefully, the one he considered the foundation of all physical existence, was this. Dryness alone brings old age and death. Pause with that for a moment. Let it land somewhere deeper than your thinking mind. Dryness alone brings old age and death. Not time, not genetics, not the inevitable march of entropy. Dryness. The loss of the body's internal water. The slow, silent evaporation of the fluid that keeps you supple, resilient, and alive. You are not aging, you are drying out. That feeling of waking up rusty, of hearing the creaking in your joints as if someone poured sand into the gears overnight, is not an inevitable sentence handed down by time. It is your body losing its ability to retain its own life force. And the uncomfortable yet profoundly liberating truth is that you are slowly becoming a dehydrated fruit. A grape that has forgotten its juiciness and learned to live like a raisin. Not because of how many birthdays you have celebrated, but because of a specific biological process that has been accelerating inside you, silently, for years. And here is what makes this so painful. You have already tried to fix it. You have already done what you were told to do. You drink your water. Maybe you even carry a bottle with you everywhere, sipping throughout the day, tracking your ounces, adding electrolytes. And still, the stiffness remains. Still, the cracking persists. Still, your body feels like clothing that is one size too tight, restricting your movements, dampening your energy, making every morning feel like a negotiation between your will and your physical limitations. Why? Why does all that water not reach the places that are actually thirsty? This is where everything changes. This is where the ancient understanding meets modern science in a way that will fundamentally alter how you relate to your own body. If this is already opening your eyes to something you have never heard before, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so you do not miss what comes next. The problem is not how much liquid you consume. The problem is whether your body even knows how to absorb it anymore. Think about your fascia. Most people have heard the word, but do not truly understand what it means. Your fascia is not just a thin wrapping around your muscles. It is the single largest organ system in your body. It is a continuous, interconnected web of connective tissue that surrounds and organizes every muscle, every bone, every organ, every nerve, every blood vessel. It is the architecture of your physical form, and within this architecture, there exists a layer, a slippery, fluid layer that allows for smooth gliding between all of these structures, an internal oil that prevents friction. When this layer is healthy and hydrated, you move like water, effortlessly, fluidly, without thinking about it. But when this layer dries out, when it becomes hard and compacted and sticky, something devastating happens. The water you drink simply runs off the edges. It cannot penetrate. It slides along the surface of these hardened tissues and gets eliminated through your kidneys, carrying away precious minerals, leaving the core dryness completely intact. You end up producing expensive urine while your tendons, your ligaments, your joint capsules continue to die of thirst, trapped in an invisible straitjacket of their own dehydration. You are literally dying of thirst inside, no matter how much water you drink. Let that sink in. Because this single understanding changes everything about how you approach your body's restoration. This fascial network is not just a structural support system. It is a communication network faster than your nerves. It is the internal ocean where your cells float. When this ocean dries up, communication fails. Nutrients do not arrive where they are needed. Toxic waste does not leave. The result is inflammation, pain, stiffness, and a cascading failure of the body's ability to heal itself. You can take the finest supplements in the world. You can eat the most pristine organic diet. You can drink the purest spring water. But if the road to your cells is blocked by dry, adhered, compacted tissue, your investments are being wasted. They are not reaching their destination. Superficial hydration is a mirage, and it has kept you trapped in the desert of chronic pain, believing you are doing everything right while the real problem deepens. Now here is where the science becomes mystical, and the mystical becomes scientific. The key component of this fascial matrix is a substance called hyaluronan. You may have heard of hyaluronic acid in the context of skincare. But inside your body, hyaluronan is something far more profound than a beauty ingredient. It is the molecule that acts like a magnet for water. In a healthy, well-functioning system, hyaluronan keeps your tissues lubricated, voluminous, springy. It is the reason a child can fall down, bounce back up, and keep running without a second thought. Their tissues are saturated with this water-attracting gel. But under chronic stress, under the relentless pressure of modern life, under the weight of repetitive movement patterns and prolonged stillness, this hyaluronan changes its behavior. It becomes sticky. Like old honey left in a jar for years, instead of allowing the collagen fibers in your fascia to slide smoothly over each other, it causes them to stick together, forming knots and adhesions and dense, rigid patches that no massage seems to permanently resolve. Because the root of the problem is not the muscle, it is the gel that surrounds it. The medium in which the muscle lives has become hostile to movement, hostile to hydration, hostile to life itself. Imagine trying to water soil that has been baked in the sun for months. Compacted clay. You pour water on it, and what happens? It pools on the surface. It runs off the edges. It evaporates. It does not penetrate. Your body has become that soil. Years of sitting in chairs, repeating the same limited movement patterns, holding the same tensions in the same places, have compacted your fascia into something resembling dried earth. The water you drink cannot find its way to the deeper layers. Instead, it causes surface swelling, overloads your kidneys, makes you feel heavy and bloated, but not hydrated, not where it counts. True hydration is not about volume. It is about permeability. And this distinction is the key that unlocks everything. I want to pause here and ask you something. Where in your body do you feel this the most? Where is the stiffness, the tightness, the place that feels like it has been dry for years? Drop it in the comments below, because naming it is the first step toward restoring it. The solution, therefore, is not to add more water. It is to till the soil. It is to mechanically break up the compaction so that water can finally find its way to the tissues that have been crying out for it. And here is the powerful paradox that sits at the heart of this teaching. To hydrate yourself, you do not need more liquid. You need more internal space. Space that has been lost due to the constant pressure of modern life and the absence of the movements your body was designed to make. You need to create irrigation channels within yourself. You need to open pathways that have been sealed shut by years of unconscious tension. And that is the great revelation that Thoth encoded. There is a physical method, a deliberate action that forces the separation of these glued fibers and restores hyaluronan's ability to attract and retain water. It is not passive stretching, which often only elongates what is already flexible while leaving the truly stuck areas untouched. It is a pressure and vacuum technique that acts like a biological plow, preparing the ground so that the rain finally penetrates the dry earth. And this technique is the basis of all regeneration. But before I teach it to you, you need to understand the law that governs it. Because without understanding the law, you will perform the technique mechanically, And mechanical performance without understanding produces mechanical results. Thoth did not teach techniques. He taught principles. And the principle beneath this technique is what I call the law of the sponge. Your body is not a plumbing system. It is not a series of pipes through which water flows. It is a living, sophisticated sponge. And this distinction changes everything about how restoration works. Imagine a kitchen sponge that has been left in the sun for days. It is hard, shrunken, brittle. If you simply pour water over it, what happens? Almost nothing. The water beads on the surface and runs off. The sponge remains dry at its core. To rehydrate that sponge, you need to do something very specific. You need to submerge it in water, then squeeze it forcefully, compressing it with everything you have, expelling the old stale air trapped in its fibers. And then, and this is the crucial moment, you release it suddenly, not slowly, not gradually, suddenly. And what happens in that instant of sudden release is pure physics. A vacuum is created. The rapid expansion of the sponge's fibers generates a suction force that pulls new water deep into the core, into places that surface contact could never reach. That is the true mechanics of deep hydration. Compression followed by sudden release. Pressure followed by vacuum. This is not metaphor. This is the literal physics of how your connective tissue rehydrates. And it is the principle that every animal on Earth instinctively understands, but that modern humans have completely forgotten. Now think about what sedentary modern life does to your body's sponge. Chronic stress and habitual stillness act exactly like a hand that squeezes the sponge and never lets go. Think about it. The tension in your shoulders while you work at a computer. The clenched jaw during a difficult conversation or a stressful commute. The subtle contraction of your pelvis and lower back when you sit for hours. The tightness in your chest when anxiety rises. Each of these is an invisible hand wringing a part of your body's sponge, expelling vital fluids, and crucially, never releasing. The squeeze is constant, low-level, chronic. And because it never fully releases, the vacuum that would pull new fluid in never forms. You live in a state of perpetual contraction, and you do not even realize it anymore. It has become your normal. It has become so familiar that you have mistaken it for who you are. You think this is just how my body feels, but it is not how your body feels. It is how your body feels when it has been squeezed dry and never released. Here is the fundamental mistake that almost everyone makes. They believe that relaxing is the opposite of contracting. It is not. Relaxation, as most people practice it, is simply a reduction in the intensity of contraction. You go from squeezing hard to squeezing less hard, but the hand never fully opens. The sponge never fully expands. The vacuum never forms. And so the rehydration never happens. The true opposite of chronic contraction is not relaxation. It is dynamic release. It is the act of suddenly, completely letting go. A sponge does not rehydrate simply by being placed in water. It rehydrates through the sudden expansion that follows maximum compression. It is the contrast, the dramatic change of state, that creates the suction power. Passive relaxation does not create a vacuum, and that is why you can meditate for hours and calm your mind beautifully, but still wake up stiff the next morning. Because meditation, as profound as it is for consciousness, does not necessarily rehydrate your tendons. The body needs something more. It needs the pulse. This sponge law governs all of biology. Look at every system in your body. The heart pulses, contracting and releasing. The lungs inhale and exhale. The lymphatic system depends entirely on muscle contraction to move its fluids. The digestive system moves food through waves of compression and release called peristalsis. Flow requires a pulse. Movement requires rhythm. Life requires the alternation between pressure and space. When you lose that pulse, when you live in a state of constant semi-tension, you are effectively holding your breath at a cellular level. And tissue that does not pulse is tissue that is dying. It is solidifying into a lifeless form. It is becoming stone. Therefore, and this is where the teaching deepens, the task is not to avoid tension. It is to use tension intelligently. You need to learn to be the master of your own sponge. Squeeze it intentionally, with full force, with complete conscious engagement, and then release it with the same intensity and totality. It is an act of conscious control designed to restore an autonomous function that has been lost. You will use tension to destroy the pattern of chronic tension. It is a fire that fights fire, a pressure that releases pressure, a paradox that resolves itself through practice. Breathe into this for a moment. Because what I just described is not merely a physical principle, it is a spiritual one. The entire path of transformation follows this same law. You must fully enter the contraction, fully feel the tension, fully inhabit the compression, before the release can carry you into genuine expansion. Trying to skip the compression and go straight to the release is like trying to exhale without first inhaling. It produces nothing. The depth of your release is always proportional to the fullness of your compression. This is true in your tissues. It is true in your emotions. It is true in your life. Now here is where the science reaches a depth that the ancient Egyptians encoded in their most sacred texts, a depth that modern researchers are only now beginning to verify. It is not just any water that gets sucked into the sponge when you release it. The mechanical pressure you are about to learn to apply does not merely create a vacuum. It transforms the very nature of the water already inside you, converting it into something extraordinary, a super lubricant that science calls the fourth phase of water. Modern cutting-edge research has finally grasped what the ancient sages already understood about the fluidity of the body. The water inside your cells, when your body is functioning as it was designed to function, is not the same liquid water that comes out of your tap. It is not the H2O you learned about in school. Inside a healthy body, water organizes itself into a crystalline gel state, a fourth phase that is neither solid, nor liquid, nor gas. It is something else entirely. A structured, ordered, electrically charged matrix that lines the surfaces of your proteins, your collagen fibers, your cell membranes. And this gel, this structured water, is the perfect lubricant. It is the substance that protects your joints, that allows your tissues to glide over each other without friction, that gives your body its resilience and spring and youthful fluidity. But here is what no one tells you. For the water you drink to transform into this miraculous gel inside your body, it needs a specific stimulus. Without the right mechanical input, the water remains in its ordinary liquid state. It causes swelling. It gets eliminated. It never becomes the structured, charged, life-giving matrix that your tissues desperately need. The stimulus it needs is exactly what we have been discussing. Pressure and release. Compression and expansion. The sponge law applied to fluid to living tissue. This structured water sometimes called EZ water by researchers, forms what amounts to a biological battery within you. It organizes itself in layers around the hydrophilic proteins in your fascia, particularly collagen, creating a negative electrical charge. This charge is not trivial. It is the foundation of cellular energy. It is the basis of the instant communication that allows your body to function as a unified whole rather than a collection of disconnected parts. It is the power source for regeneration and healing. When your body is full of this gel-like structured water, you feel energized. Your movements are fluid. Your healing capacity is amplified. You literally become more conductive to the life force that animates you. But stress, inflammation, and the absence of varied movement break down this crystalline structure. The gel reverts to ordinary liquid water, disorganized, energetically depleted, unable to perform its lubricating and communicating functions. It is as if your body's battery is constantly discharging. You feel tired, stiff, slow to recover, fragile. And the liquid water that remains cannot keep tissue surfaces separated and lubricated. The result is friction, wear and tear, pain, the grinding sensation in your joints, the creaking, the cracking. All of it is the sound of surfaces that should be gliding on a cushion of structured gel, now scraping against each other with nothing between them. Accelerated aging is, in its essence, the loss of this structured water, and the restoration of youth, the reversal of this drying process, is the recreation of it. The key to recreating this gel is not chemistry. It is physics. It is not what you put into your body. It is what you do with your body. Research has shown that infrared energy, like that from sunlight, helps structure water. But the most powerful and immediate way to generate structured water within the body is through mechanical pressure applied to the fascial system. When you compress fascial tissues with sufficient force, you drive the water molecules closer together, forcing them to reorganize, expelling protons, and forming this negatively charged gel matrix. And when you release that compression suddenly, the vacuum pulls fresh fluid in, and the conditions are perfect for that fluid to immediately structure itself into the fourth phase. It is a process of biophysical alchemy happening in your tissues. You are transforming a simple liquid into a living, energetic substance. The true elixir of youth that the ancients sought was never in a bottle or a potion. It was in the body itself, in the body's own ability to transform water into something miraculous through the application of intelligent pressure and conscious release. This is the missing link between movement and vitality. It is not about burning calories. It is not about building muscle mass. It is not about cardiovascular endurance. It is about recharging your body's battery at a molecular level. Every movement that applies the correct compression and release is actively restructuring the water within you, making you more resilient, more energetic, more alive, more fluid. And there is an instinctive movement, forgotten by modern humanity, that is the absolute master of doing exactly this. If this video is awakening something in you, what we have explored here only touches the surface. My complete guide, Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery, walks you through the full system of 9 master frequencies, step by step, from transforming resistance into creative power to living as the field itself rather than separate from it. It is linked in the pinned comment below. The ancient Egyptians called it the awakening of the body's internal waters. Modern science calls it Pandiculation. And every animal on Earth still does it, every single day, without being taught. Observe the animals. Watch a cat when it wakes from sleep. Watch a dog when it rises from rest. They do not perform passive stretches. They do not gently elongate their muscles the way a yoga instructor might cue you to do. They do something profoundly different, something powerful, something that looks almost violent in its intensity but is in fact the most intelligent movement in all of biology. They stretch their bodies while intensely contracting their muscles at the same time. They engage everything. You can see them trembling with the force of it. Their backs arch, their limbs extend, their toes spread. Every fiber of their being is simultaneously lengthening and contracting, creating enormous internal pressure throughout their entire fascial system. They hold this for a few seconds, vibrating with tension, and then they release everything at once, completely, totally. Every muscle lets go in a single instant, and you can see the wave of relaxation wash through their entire body. They shake it off, they yawn, and then they move with perfect, effortless fluidity, as if they have just been reassembled from the inside out. This is pandiculation. This is pure biological intelligence in action. These animals are not doing this because someone taught them. They are doing it because 300 million years of evolutionary wisdom encoded this movement into the deepest layers of their nervous system. It is the body's own built-in restoration protocol, the reset button that nature designed to prevent exactly the kind of drying, stiffening, and deterioration that modern humans suffer from. And here's the devastating truth. You used to do this too. Every mammal does. Human babies pandiculate constantly. You did it in the womb. You did it as an infant. It was your body's natural way of maintaining the health of its fascial system, of keeping the sponge hydrated, of ensuring that structured water continued to form in your tissues. But somewhere along the way, you stopped. You were told to sit still, to stop fidgeting, to be quiet, to control your body rather than listen to it. And slowly, gradually, the instinct was suppressed. Not destroyed, it cannot be destroyed. It is too deeply encoded, but suppressed. Buried under layers of social conditioning and habitual stillness and the chronic low-level tension of a life lived primarily in chairs, in cars, in front of screens. The animals never forgot. That is why a 15-year-old cat can still jump to the top of a fence with fluid grace. That is why a wolf can run for hours without its joints deteriorating. They pandiculate every single time they transition from rest to activity. They squeeze the sponge and release it. They pressurize the system and then create the vacuum. They maintain the pulse that keeps their tissues alive and hydrated and resilient. You stopped pulsing, and your body began to dry. Think about that for a moment. When was the last time you truly felt your body move without resistance, without negotiation, without that familiar tightness holding you back? Tell me in the comments, because I think many of you will realize it has been far longer than you thought. This is what Thoth encoded, not in the language of modern biomechanics, but in the symbolic language of the mysteries. The teaching of the serpent that contracts and then strikes. The teaching of the Nile that floods and recedes, leaving fertile ground where there was desert. The teaching of the breath of life that must be drawn in fully before it can be released fully. Compression and expansion, tension and release. The eternal pulse that maintains all living systems. And tonight, you are going to remember how to do it. Here is the technique, and I need you to listen carefully because the details matter. The difference between doing this correctly and doing it incorrectly is the difference between deep regeneration and nothing at all. You can do this lying down, which is ideal, or standing. If you are lying down, begin on your back with your arms at your sides and your legs extended. The first phase is the compression. You are going to contract your entire body simultaneously, not one muscle group at a time. Everything at once. Clench your fists, flex your feet, tighten your legs, squeeze your glutes, brace your core, pull your shoulders toward your ears, clench your jaw, squeeze your eyes shut. Contract everything as if you are trying to make yourself as small and dense and compressed as possible, as if you are trying to wring every drop of fluid out of every tissue in your body. And as you contract, slowly begin to extend. This is the crucial part that makes this pandiculation rather than mere tension. While maintaining maximum contraction, begin to lengthen your body. Push your heels away from you. Reach your fists overhead or out to the sides. Arch your back slightly. Extend your spine. You are simultaneously contracting with full force and lengthening through your entire structure. This creates enormous hydraulic pressure throughout your fascial system. You are compressing the sponge from every direction at once. Hold this. Breathe into it. Do not hold your breath. Breathe through the contraction. Let the breath move even as the muscles squeeze. Feel the trembling. Feel the intensity. Feel the pressure building in every joint, every tendon, every layer of tissue. This is the squeeze. This is the compression that prepares the vacuum. Stay here for 5 to 8 seconds. Let the intensity build. Let it become almost unbearable. And now, the release. This is where the crucial detail lives. This is the moment that separates regeneration from nothing. And here is what most people get wrong. They release gradually. They let go slowly, progressively, muscle by muscle. And in doing so, they completely negate the vacuum effect. A sponge that is slowly released does not create suction. It simply returns to its compressed shape without pulling anything new in. The release must be total and instantaneous. In one single moment, let go of everything, every muscle, every tension, every holding pattern, all at once, like a fist that has been clenched for years, suddenly opening completely, like a bow that releases an arrow. Not a gradual unwinding, an instantaneous surrender. And then, and this is equally important, do absolutely nothing. Do not adjust your position. Do not scratch an itch. Do not wiggle your fingers. Lie in complete stillness and feel what happens. Feel the wave. Feel the warmth spreading through your tissues. Feel the tingling. Feel the subtle pulsing as fluid rushes into spaces that have been compressed and sealed for months or years. You may feel heat in your joints. You may feel a spreading sensation of softness. You may feel areas of your body that you did not even know were tense suddenly becoming present to you as they release. This is the vacuum at work. This is plasma being drawn into dehydrated tissues. This is hyaluronan softening and becoming fluid again. This is structured water forming in real time within your fascia. This is your body remembering what it always knew how to do. Stay in this stillness for at least 30 seconds. A full minute is better. Let the rehydration complete itself. Let the body drink. Then repeat. Contract everything. Lengthen through the contraction. Build the pressure. Hold it. breathe through it and release instantly, totally, completely, and rest in the aftermath. 3 to 5 cycles of this before sleep tonight will begin a process of restoration that you will feel in your body by morning. Your joints will be quieter. Your movements will be smoother. The stiffness that has become your morning ritual will begin to soften. Not because you did something to your body from the outside, but because you activated a mechanism that was always inside you, waiting to be remembered. But let me deepen this further. Because the technique alone, powerful as it is, becomes exponentially more effective when you understand the consciousness behind it. Thoth did not teach physical exercises. He taught principles of reality. And the principle operating here goes far beyond the rehydration of tendons. The compression and release pattern is the fundamental rhythm of creation itself. It is the pulse of the universe. Every star compresses hydrogen until it ignites into light. Every wave in the ocean rises through compression and falls through release. Every breath you take follows this pattern. Every heartbeat, every thought that forms and dissolves in your mind. When you perform this technique with conscious awareness, you are not merely doing a physical exercise. You are aligning your body with the fundamental rhythm of existence. You are synchronizing your personal pulse with the universal pulse. And when that synchronization occurs, something happens that goes beyond the physical. Your entire system comes into coherence. Your nervous system calms. Your electromagnetic field strengthens. Your capacity to heal accelerates not just because of the mechanical effects on your fascia, but because you have brought your body back into harmony with the pattern that sustains all life. This is why Thoth considered the body a temple, not as a metaphor, as a literal truth. The body is the instrument through which consciousness experiences and interacts with physical reality. When that instrument is dry, rigid, and compressed, the signal is distorted. The consciousness that flows through you cannot express itself fully. You feel disconnected, foggy, separate from the vitality that is your birthright. But when the instrument is hydrated, fluid, and pulsing with life, the signal is clear. You feel present, alive, connected to something larger than yourself. The body does not limit consciousness. A dry body limits consciousness. A fluid body conducts it. So when you perform this technique tonight, do not think of it as merely physical therapy for your joints. Think of it as tuning the instrument. Think of it as clearing the channel. Think of it as restoring the temple so that the intelligence that lives within you can finally express itself without obstruction. Let me tell you what will happen if you practice this consistently. In the first few days, you will notice that your morning stiffness decreases. The cracking and popping in your joints will become less frequent and less intense. You will notice that you can move in ways that had become difficult without the usual negotiation and hesitation. Within a week or two, something deeper begins to shift. You will notice that your energy changes. Not just physical energy, though that will increase, but a more subtle vitality, a feeling of being more present in your body, more at home in your skin. The sensation of wearing clothing that is too tight will begin to dissolve, replaced by a feeling of spaciousness within your own form. Within a month, if you are consistent, the changes become undeniable. People will comment that you look different, not because you have lost weight or changed your appearance, but because there is a quality of fluidity in how you move, a softness in how you carry yourself, that communicates youth and vitality at a level that is felt rather than seen. Your posture will improve not because you are forcing yourself to stand straight, but because hydrated fascia naturally supports upright, open alignment. Your pain will decrease. Your sleep will deepen. Your recovery from exertion will accelerate. And beneath all of these physical changes, something even more profound will be occurring. As your body becomes more fluid, your mind becomes more fluid. As your tissues release their chronic holding patterns, your psychology releases its chronic holding patterns. The rigidity in your body and the rigidity in your thinking are not separate phenomena. They are the same phenomenon expressing itself on different levels. When you soften one, you soften the other. When you create space in your tissues, you create space in your consciousness. When you restore the pulse in your body, you restore the pulse in your life. This is why the ancients considered the body sacred, not because they worshipped the physical form, but because they understood that the state of the body directly influences the state of consciousness. A dry, rigid body produces dry, rigid thinking. A fluid, resilient body produces fluid, resilient awareness. The path to expanded consciousness runs directly through the restoration of the body's internal waters. Now I want to address something that may be arising in you as you listen to this. A doubt, a skepticism, a voice that says this sounds too simple. How can squeezing and releasing my muscles possibly reverse years of deterioration? How can something this basic be the answer when I have tried so many complex, expensive, sophisticated approaches that have failed? And to that voice, I want to say this: the most profound truths are always simple. Complexity is the hallmark of confusion, not of depth. The universe operates on simple principles applied with infinite consistency. Gravity is simple. Electromagnetism is simple. The pulse of compression and release that sustains all living systems is simple. What makes these principles powerful is not their complexity, but their universality. They work at every scale, in every context, without exception. The reason this technique works is not because it is clever or novel. It is because it is fundamental. It is the same principle that keeps a jellyfish alive in the ocean, that keeps a tree flexible in the wind, that keeps a river flowing rather than stagnating. You are not learning something new. You are remembering something ancient, something your body has always known, something that was suppressed, not destroyed. And the reason more complex approaches have failed you is precisely because they are complex. They add layers of intervention between you and your body's own intelligence. They treat the body as a machine to be fixed from the outside rather than a living system to be reawakened from within. The body does not need to be fixed. It needs to be reminded. And this technique is the reminder. There is one more layer I want to share with you before we close. Because understanding this layer transforms the technique from something you do into something you become. The ancient Egyptian concept of the body's internal waters was not merely physical. They understood that the fluid state of the body corresponds to a fluid state of being. When the Nile flooded, it did not merely water the crops. It renewed the entire civilization. It washed away the old. It deposited fresh, fertile soil. It made new growth possible. The flooding of the Nile was understood as a cosmic event, a reflection of the universal principle of renewal through the restoration of flow. Your body is your Nile, and it has been in drought. The technique I have given you tonight is the beginning of the flood. Not a destructive flood, but a renewing one. A restoration of flow to tissues that have been parched. A return of life to areas that have been dormant. A reawakening of the pulse that makes all growth, all healing, all transformation possible. But like the Nile, this flood must be regular. It must be cyclical. It must become a rhythm in your life, not a one-time event. The ancient Egyptians did not water their fields once and expect them to produce forever. They understood that life requires ongoing renewal, ongoing pulse, ongoing cycles of compression and release, of flooding and receding, of tension and surrender. Make this your practice. Not just tonight, though tonight is where it begins. Make it the first thing you do when you wake and the last thing you do before you sleep. 5 minutes of conscious pandiculation. 5 minutes of squeezing the sponge and releasing it. 5 minutes of restoring the pulse that modern life has flatlined. Consider coming back to this video each morning to guide you through this practice until it becomes second nature. And if someone you care about has been waking up stiff and believing it is just their age, share this with them. When you pass this knowledge forward, you create a ripple that extends far beyond yourself. You restore the pulse not just in your own body, but in the people around you, and that shared restoration amplifies the effect for everyone involved. And as you do it, remember what you are really doing. You are not just lubricating your joints. You are restoring the temple. You are clearing the channel. You are tuning the instrument through which your consciousness experiences this reality. You are remembering what you are, beneath the dryness, beneath the rigidity, beneath the accumulated tension of a life lived in compression without release. You are water. You have always been water. Fluid, adaptable, powerful, alive. The dryness was never who you are. It was only what happened when you forgot to pulse. Tonight, you remember. Feel your body right now. Notice where the tension lives. Notice the places that feel hard, compressed, stuck. Those are the places that are thirstiest. Those are the places where the sponge has been squeezed and never released. Those are the places waiting for you to apply this ancient principle and restore what has been lost. You are not meant to live in a body that feels like a cage. You are meant to live in a body that feels like a river. And the distance between the cage and the river is not years of therapy or thousands of dollars in treatments. It is one conscious contraction followed by one total release, repeated with intention, repeated with awareness, repeated until the body remembers its own intelligence and begins to do it on its own again, the way it did when you were a child, the way every animal still does, the way life itself has always pulsed since the first heartbeat echoed through the first living cell. This is the gift that Thoth encoded, not in a scroll locked in a tomb, in your body, in the body's own capacity to restore itself through the most fundamental movement in all of biology. It was never hidden from you. It was hidden in you, waiting for the moment when you were ready to remember. And if this video found you tonight, you are ready. Before you close your eyes tonight, do this. Lie down, take 3 slow breaths, and then squeeze. Everything, every muscle, every fiber, every cell you can consciously reach. Squeeze as if you are wringing out every drop of stagnation, every ounce of dryness, every residue of tension that has accumulated in your body. Hold it. Breathe through it. Feel the pressure build. and then let go all at once, completely. Hold nothing back. Surrender every contraction in a single instant, and then lie still. Feel the flood. Feel the warmth. Feel the tingling rush of fluid returning to places that have been dry for so long they had forgotten what moisture feels like. That feeling. That is your body coming back to life. That is the fourth phase of water forming in your fascia. That is the ancient technology of Thoth activating in your tissues. That is you remembering what you are. Do it 3 times, 5 times, as many times as feels right, and then sleep. Let the body continue its restoration through the night. Let the structured water that you have just generated do its work while you rest, rebuilding the gel matrix, softening the adhesions, restoring the lubrication, renewing the internal ocean in which your cells float. And when you wake tomorrow, notice how different your body feels. Notice the quiet in your joints. Notice the ease in your first movements. Notice the subtle but unmistakable feeling of being more fluid, more present, more alive than you were this morning. That is not a placebo. That is physics. That is biology. That is the law of the sponge applied to the living temple of your body. And it will deepen every single day that you practice it. You are not aging. You never were. You were drying out. And now you know how to reverse it. If this resonated with something deep in you tonight, if you felt something shift even as you listened, leave a comment below. Tell me what you felt. Tell me where in your body the thirst is deepest. Tell me that you are ready to restore the flow. Because when you declare it, when you put it into words, you anchor the intention into reality. And intention, combined with action, combined with understanding, is the most powerful force in the universe. Subscribe to this channel if you want to continue this journey. There is so much more to explore. So many more layers of this ancient wisdom waiting to be uncovered. So many more techniques encoded in the mysteries that can transform not just your body, but your entire experience of being alive. Share this video with someone whose body is crying out for this knowledge. Someone who wakes up stiff every morning and believes it is just their age. Someone who has tried everything and found no lasting relief. Someone who is ready to hear the truth that their body is not broken, it is thirsty, and the water it needs is already inside them, waiting to be transformed by the most ancient and simple technique in all of human wisdom. You found this tonight for a reason. Honor that reason. Practice what you have learned, and let your body remember what it has always known. The flood is coming, and it begins with you. Now that you understand how to restore the body's internal waters, go watch the frequency of receiving, because it reveals why most people unknowingly repel the very vitality and abundance they are trying to draw in. And it will show you how to remove that invisible block so everything you just activated tonight can flow without resistance.